What's up guys, today we'll be discussing upcoming class adjustments to Sword Ninja. Let's get started. First things first though, you know what to do. Please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification. As always, thank you for the support. Speaking of gratitude, huge thanks to Team Leaks for translating these patch notes so we can understand the upcoming changes. For the changes in China's CBT server last September 9, we have these following changes. Cooldown Reduction for Flowing Shadow Heart, Rune Change for Flowing Shadow Heart, and an update to the Breaking Dawn buff. For the first change, we have a cooldown reduction from 5 seconds to 3 seconds. Cooldown is enough for us to execute Flowing Shadow Heart after every 4-hit combo, as long as we move away from the target. Right now in the live servers, the cooldown is still 5 seconds, so we need 2 full combos to execute Flowing Shadow Heart after the first execution. Once the changes are implemented, it will take 6 hits to execute Flowing Shadow Heart after the first execution if we don't move away from the target. In our live servers, it takes 2 combos plus 2 hits. This is a good increase to our DPS. For the second change, the effect of the rune One Single Thought is updated from Flowing Shadow Heart and damage increase to just Flowing Shadow Heart damage increase. That means we don't need to hit targets at max distance to get the damage buff from this rune. This also means that if we do hit them at max distance, we get even higher damage. Overall, a pretty good buff to the rune. Third and final buff is an additional crit damage increase when we activate Breaking Dawn. In our live servers, the skill only increases our penetration. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, crit damage is one of the most beneficial stats that the Sword Ninja can invest into. This change supplements that fact and also provides us with more flexibility for choosing our headgears and our ancient equips. Moving on to the newer changes this October 19th, we have updates to Shadow Warrior, Thousand Shadows, and Hidden Shadow. For the first change for this patch, Shadow Warrior, which is the follow-up skill that triggers on our Flowing Blade and our Flowing Shadow Heart, is no longer force neutral. It now follows the element of the ninja. So as you can see in this video, the procs of Shadow Warrior, which is 25.7M, should now be 51.4M, since the target is water and I have the wind element. This patch benefits PvE mostly because we can now match our element to the monster's weakness and have Shadow Warrior amplified by it. For PvP, it might be a double-edged sword because we might get reflect damage from the burst damage of Shadow Warrior. For the next change in this patch, our clone skill, which is Thousand Shadows, gains more utility. For each attack of the Shadow Clone, we get a stack of 10% penetration, which lasts for 3 seconds and can be stacked 3 times for a total of 30% penetration. We don't know yet if this is limited to auto attacks or if it can also trigger on skills, but overall it's a very nice buff given that our clones attack very frequently. For the final buff in this patch, Hidden Shadow, which is a passive skill for 1000 Shadows, gains an extra effect where if the limit on Shadow Clones hasn't been reached yet, at max level, there is a 50% chance to use 1000 Shadows when attacking. If you play Dota, it's very similar to the skill of Phantom Lancer. This change helps us keep up our stacks of penetration, which was discussed earlier. Overall, the changes increase the benefit of Shadow Clones for Sword Ninjas because compared to the other builds, Sword Ninja clones are less useful. That's about it for this video. What are your thoughts on the changes introduced and what other changes do you want? In my opinion, these changes will help a lot in making Sword Ninja shine more both in PvE and PvP, but it is still lackluster compared to the other meta jobs. Which honestly is fine, because the thing you have to prioritize the most when picking a class is the fun you have with it. But of course, all these buffs are welcome until we become the meta class that we deserve. Thanks for watching, see you next time.